watch a trophy fly. Targets downrange, bullseye hit. Guns don't kill, our spirits lit. Fire, lock and load, let them roar. Shoot straight, Second Amendment score. Hunt, shoot, rock forever free. Amendment, eternity.
All right. Hey, how everybody doing? Episode 10, 701 Nation. Special guest tonight, Governor Kelly Armstrong. Kelly, appreciate you coming on the show. How you doing tonight?
I've been good. It's been a good day. Nice fall day. We had some baseball yesterday, getting ready for some spring turkeys, so it's fun.
That's right. You're a big baseball fan, right? What's your favorite baseball team? I know Michael's the Dodgers, right? Which one who are you?
I'm a New York Mets fan, but I like the Legion. I like the Larks. I like the Big Sticks. We had some really cool baseball fields around Western North Dakota, man.
What are you doing with the Larks again? You got some. Are you the manager or the?
I'm the celebrity manager. They do, they used to do the Motor City Motorboaters, and now they're switching that out, so they're the Dakota Ditch Chickens.
Okay.
So they got to. I mean, it's all. You're going to combine pheasant hunting and baseball. I'm probably your guy.
Perfect. Absolutely. I love that because you were just telling me before the show you got your what outfitter? Double J, you said?
Yeah. So when I was practicing law in Western North Dakota, my buddies owned this place, and I had a really good lab and a really good pointer. And so we'd run out, and I'd volunteer guide for them, which was really just an excuse for me to run my dogs 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Good friends of mine in Western North Dakota, and I try and get out there and help them out whenever I can.
What town's that in Western North Dakota?
Oh, so they have a lodge east of Dickinson, and then they have one essentially where 22 and 23 meet.
Okay, awesome, great pheasant country down there, huh?
Yeah, world class, like as good as it gets.
Awesome. All right, so we got a few chats coming in. What's up, Josh Patterson, Brian Warner? Good evening, my fellow MVE. Kelly, you know what an MVE is? You know where we get that from?
I do not.
When Biden's DOJ said people who hold up the American flag and the Gadsden and they're NRA members, they're militia violent extremists. So we just make it a joke. We're MVEs.
Oh, we should get some hats or something.
Yeah, we should. That's a great idea, actually. Some T-shirts or something, right? Dave Nerb, good evening, Dave. Good evening, gents. Dan Brown, the Western Edge, says good evening to JD Kelly and fellow MVEs. Rick Roan, hello from Southwest Mandan. I think you had a picture actually with my cousin Rick. You were in Capital City Restaurant Supply there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Actually, looking for, I don't know why it happened, but those huge Rapella like cutting boards that you have?
Yep.
So my buddy's got one up at Duck Camp, and it doesn't fit over the sink, so it slides over. I have cleaned, I don't know how many roosters, but thousands and thousands of roosters over the course of my life. And he had it, and it leaned back to the back of the metal sink.
Yeah.
And so by accident, after 30 years of my life of doing this, I'm like, this is the best way in the world to do it. Instead of filling the metal sink full of water where every time you pull a breast out, you get all the feathers on the top of the water on, put them on this thing. So I was actually at a store looking for 3 pieces of this to put on my metal sink out at our farm in Richardson, and it works perfect.
Perfect, right? It's like I always say, it's like a like sausage and kitchen store, like a Sam's Club place, because you go in there and you're just in awe of how much stuff is in there.
Yeah, and the only reason this worked is because I was cleaning a bunch of ducks and pheasants to help bag them up, and I'm like, by accident, I'm like, how have I never thought of doing it this way before? Because all the feathers roll back down, they run down, it's slanted. My hunting buddy, who him and I do this all the time for everybody, right? Like guide for my dad and his friends. I'm like texting him these pictures, and I'm like, I'm way too excited about this, but this is friggin' awesome.
Love it. Hey, it's little things in hunting like that, man. Get a guy excited. I mean,
and then they hooked me up over there, and I got 3 little pieces, so it's even better because you can separate them out, so you get no water splashing around. It's just like, again, I'm way too excited about it. But when you play birds as I do, it works out fantastic.
Right on. One Shot Cap, good evening. 701 Nation, good evening. One Shot Cap, appreciate you getting on here again. appreciate you coming on again, Governor Arm. First time you've actually been on with me on 701 Nation, right? Last time I think either it was on when I was with Guns in 701, or I think I was filling in for Michael Bell once. I did.
I think the last time we talked, we were trying to make some really mediocre radio.
Which we did. It was pheasant talk too. I remember you had the youth pheasant hunt, I think, out of your place actually. So yeah, tonight we're going to head it off right away. Top 10 used rifles from Gun Broker. If nobody's familiar with that, our great governor, heavy pro Second Amendment, big gun guy. Kelly, I'm sure you got far more firearms than I do. Maybe not, but we'll get into that. And then we got man versus AI. I know I did this one on the first show. We got the best all-around hunting cartridge in America. I asked AI. I got AI set up right over here. And Kelly and I are going to go again head-to-head against AI and see what we think is the best hunting all around, right? Not just... Okay, so I'm gonna pick one that's not gonna be my favorite, but I'll go all around. Well, it might be the best all around. We'll get when we get to that. And we got a gun control group in Ottawa is criticizing the people there for not turning in their guns at poor participation is what they call it in their forced buyback, right? And then of course we'll have the happy ending hootenanny. So it's gonna be a good show. And Kelly might give us a little insight on his. You got the biggest. You want to do? Let's see. Hold on, let me get one more comment here, Kelly. I would like to formally invite Kelly to our first ever NRA Palma match in Moffat, May 28th through the 30th. There you go, Kelly. Dave was a state champ in the man. I always forget what it is, but long range something. But he's so yeah. If you can make it down there for that,
I will check. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, you ever been down to that Moffat range? That's unreal down there.
I haven't. It's. You know, when you don't get to do this as much as I do, so I could shoot steel to 1,000 yards off our back porch at Richardson. Mm-hmm. It's nothing fancy, but you can get it all done out there, and then, kind of do that stuff. So, and then figure out how to redneck pretty good out there.
I did a little steel target talk with Jay yesterday on I'll tell everybody real quick here before we go on this show right here on Monday, Dropping Brass. I did it with Jay, talk a little steel target there. I think I actually brought up your range on there because you got them big elk in that, but it's Dropping Brass with 701 Nation every other Monday at 1 p.m. there on KFYR Plus. There's the picture. Jay Dillon and I has a pretty good show. It's only 30 minutes. You know, I don't want to get too crazy about, I'm doing that and this every week. So, but Kelly, I did mention your elk out there, which is cool. You got punch outs in that elk, right?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
You got a big mule deer and you big whitetail man too.
Mule deer, whitetail, elk, and grizzly bear, and then regular steel out past that.
Awesome. God, that's fun, man. You shoot at that steel and you hear that ping. That's a great feeling, man.
And kids like it better. Like it's more fun.
Yeah. If you tell them, hey, shoot it in the butt or give it a headshot and they hit it, man, it smiles everywhere. Even I'm not shooting, I just love to see it. But you got the biggest whitetail of your life. Was it with a rifle or was it just with your bow you got, right?
It was with a bow, and it's the first deer I've shot in over right around 10 years with a bow, up on my buddy's place.
There it is right there.
I had his kid in there with me, and I shot it at 8 yards, and that was the farthest away it was after I saw it. Just typical deer stuff, right? It was really cold out. All the deer came up into the food plot. It's a soybean plot, exactly like you think. This one came from behind us. The first time I saw him was out the window to my left at about 3 yards.
Unreal.
And everything else was eaten, and he was still trolling for does, so he never really stopped. And I had Jennings Levitt in the blind with me. So the first thing I did is grab him and tell him to be like, that knee grab that you do between the two tendons. Yeah. Second thing I did is it just all happened so fast. And it was really cool. It was cool to have him with me. Always good to have buddies who let you come hunt on their place once in a while. And
oh yeah. So
it worked out. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you got that with 8 yards where you shot him, you said?
Yeah, I shot him at 8 yards. I walked it off. He was 8 yards away, which is too close.
Man, I can't believe a whitetail got that close and didn't smell you guys.
We had it was perfect. He came, I mean, there was just the wind was, there was about a 7 mile an hour wind blowing. He came just upwind and never got downwind and just was walking upwind the whole time. And you guys, I mean, when you're shooting mature deer like this, they don't make mistakes unless they're thinking of trying to chase a little tail around. And it was definitely the tail end of the rut, and it was cold out. It was like the perfect conditions to get a good shot at a whitetail with a bow.
And you missed him like a couple weeks before or something, right?
I missed the smaller one about 10 days earlier at like I get a loft issue. You know loft, right?
Yeah.
And talent.
No, I did not know what it was. I do now.
It works for bow hunting. It works for rifle shooting. It works for golf. If you like to golf, loft is always an issue. So I missed a really cool mature deer, but it was nothing like this. So sometimes you get lucky by being bad at what you're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a great buck. Was that in rifle season or was that afterwards? I can't remember.
It was after rifle season.
Okay.
It was early December.
Yeah, because I remember I sent you something, then you told me you just missed that one. But if he was smaller and you got a bigger one, I mean, sometimes it pays off to do that, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
I shot a mutant mule deer with my gun. I mean, nothing. Just a 4x4, like 160-inch 4x4. But he weighed 375 pounds. The only deer I've ever shot because of the size of the body. I'm like, this thing is huge.
Yeah, I've done that too. I saw a few big ones this year. I didn't have a rifle tag, but man, there were some huge bodied deer I seen out there, and some of them hopefully they made it through. So there's gonna be a lot to eat.
I had the whole thing. So I built my dad a gun. And so I put it together for him and sighted it in. And so I shoot a 6.5 PRC, had a 6.5 Creedmoor round in it, like didn't go off. Glad the gun didn't blow up. Couldn't get it out. Throw out the bottom plate. All the shells fell on the ground. Deer's 75 yards away, running on a doe. I'm banging the gun on the bottom of the blind, trying to get the bullet out of first of all anybody listening to this, don't ever do gun safety the way this all happened. Down on the floor of but this is hunting, man, right?
Yep.
I mean and none of this was smart. I had the wrong bullet in my pocket, like all bad stuff, like real bad. Lucky it didn't get way worse than that. But anyway, it all worked out, and it's a good story of what not to do.
Well,
I mean, embarrassing bad.
I think we all have those. I'm pretty quite sure we all have those. But hey, either way, you got a big 4x4 and then beautiful whitetail buck. So did you mount the whitetail then?
Yeah, and because Jennings was in there, I got to get a replica made for him. He's gonna get it's expensive, but it's worth it. He's my hunting buddy, and him and I have a lot of fun together.
Awesome, man. All right, so you ready to hit this top 10 used rifles? You ready to do? You probably know more about used rifles than me. I'm not. And I guess I never even looked at this list, but I kind of paged through it. But we'll just hit it right off. This is from Gunbroker, February 2026. Number one on the list here. Bolt action rifles lead February movement. They got the Remington 700 Mountain, went from 29 to the top spot, which I don't know if you ever look at this Gunbroker when they got their gun sales stuff on there. Yeah. It is, they'll jump up from last to first, which is, I've never purchased one on here, but representing one of the largest month-over-month jumps across any firearm category. So have you ever seen these new, I don't know if it's the old one. It's probably the old one, right? Or do you like the new Remingtons? I've never even put my hands on one of the new Remington rifles.
So it's a little tough for me, JD, because I'm left-handed. I'm just reading Dan Brown, the old ex-hunter safety guy. I go, Dan, I understand. I'm glad I didn't have my son in the blind with me, because he would have there would have been a lot of eating crow going on.
There, I'll put the comment up there for you. Yeah, Kelly, that makes an ex-hunter safety instructor.
You are correct. And it was not, there is nothing good about it. And it's funny now, but it could have been a bad deal.
Yeah, like I said, man, I've been there doing stuff like that. But hey, everything worked out for you, like I said. So
yeah.
All right, so I don't know if these are the old Remingtons or the new, but yeah, that thing jumped up from 29
well, you get the
to
pre-64, is it? But that I don't think the Mountain's the pre-64, right? Like
I'm saying it's not for sure. Yeah. I don't. And I'm not, I like Remington 700s. I have had a couple of them, but yeah, I don't know the mountain one. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lighter rifle. When everything that's a mountain, they make it lighter. So number two here, lever action clashes continue strong demand. Lever action rifle is a Winchester 1894, climbed into the top position for lever guns, while the Winchester 94 Sporter posted one of the biggest jumps in the category. And I have a Winchester 94 Sporter, actually. It was Golden Spike edition. I mean, my grandpa got it and shot it, so it, took out the the collectability of it, I guess, once you're shot, right?
Yeah, so I have I think I have NRA one actually, and they hang on my wall out at Richardson. I think mine's a 357, but I don't know why I like Remington. I like lever actions, but I don't like the collectible guns because I want to shoot them all.
I'm with you. I can't. And that's exactly what my grandpa said when he got it. He said, I can't take it. I got to shoot this thing. And for years, Kelly, that gun was always off and it wouldn't hit just right. And I took it to, I can't remember the fella's name, but he worked up at Underwood at what is it up there? The mine, right? It's a mine and a coal station. I used to deliver stuff up there for a company, but he was on his side job. He was a gunsmith, man. He got that thing zeroed in. Even to this day, I can pick off clay pigeons on the dirt mound there at about 100, 125 yards. So I should actually get a deer with that one of these years, right? Instead of just so true, says Rick. All right. Let's go to semi-auto rifle. And I can tell you, Kelly, we do every once in a while I do the new best-selling new ones on here. Ruger 1022 reclaimed the top spot. Not sure what one was before that, but that's always on the new semi-automatics.
Yeah, because they're fun.
Yeah.
I have a little takedown. It's a lot of fun. I throw it on the boat in the summer, and if you're out camping or whatever, you can just play. I mean, they're great guns. They're awesome.
Yeah.
People trick them out. I don't know. I mean, you can buy the whole suppressed barrel for them. You can do a lot of cool stuff with them.
And they're always accurate too, right? And I've never seen one that's a jam-o-matic ever. Every one of them see to run like a sewing machine. It's just
no. If those things jam, it's usually because you're buying literally the world's cheapest 22.
Get some Aguilla or something from Mexico. Yeah. That stuff's actually worked pretty good for me. I guess I can't slam that too much. I got a little side note here. Historic military rifles also remain active in the used market. Springfield M1 Garand. I mean, I would think that one was always number one in the used semi-auto, right?
Yeah. So I've been on more airplanes than I'd like a couple of days. I forgot about this. I was watching Saving Private Ryan, and they were so they were so authentic that you could see the guys shooting the M1 Garands. They had the Garand thumb.
Yep, you pinched them. Yep.
And some of that, the loading and unloading of those things is a little wild for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably make a lot of people mad. I've just never been a big fan of it, and I know it put foot to ass for America, which I appreciate. But I like semi-automatic rifles though. All right, let's go on here. We get where were we? We're in lever action. Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think that's about all these guys got here. Bolt action. They're just saying they recorded the largest ranking movements this month. Of course, it was led by that Remington 700. Rimfire strong. I think rimfires are coming back, man. They're people. These gun companies really pushing the rimfires. I know Smith & Wesson came out with a new 22 handgun that holds 25 rounds or something like that. Looks awesome. I'll love to get that, but yeah, that's I guess that's their used
one. Ruger number one, the single shot. I'm an old lefty, man. I collect Ruger number ones.
Okay, yeah.
So I got a 35 Wayland Ruger number one, which I shot a bear with one back in the day, and I found a 270 Ruger number one actually at the Shields in Fargo with the Mannlicher stock where the wood goes all the way to the end. And I bought a Weaver 4-power fixed scope 25th anniversary. It took me forever to find it because I wanted this gun to look like what I like, back when people wore jeans and flannel and killed as many deer as we did.
Yeah. Yes, they did. Indeed.
$6,000 worth of matching camo. And
yep.
the big blaze orange shirt over the top of it. And so for being a lefty, I like those Ruger #1s. They're a lot of fun.
So John Adams is a big Ruger #1 guy too for hunting, isn't he?
He's actually got a I sold him a gun. He's got he shoots a 28 Nosler because he's left-handed too, but he's got I think his is a Winchester falling block.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, but it's a great gun. I mean, the nice thing about them is they don't mess around. There's nothing. I mean, as long as you shut them all the way, they shoot. They go bang.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, my experience with single shots is 12 gauges, 20 gauges, and 22s. Probably. I don't know that I don't think I've shot anything other than that. Right? Yeah, I forgot that though.
And that 35 Wayland is just one of those rounds that just kills. It just shoots bigger than it is. It's like and it doesn't kick like a Magnum. Kicks a little more like a shotgun, but you shoot 250 grain AccuBonds out of that thing, and things die.
Damn.
They just die.
So what's like the lethal range of that? You think? Like,
I mean, the lethal range of the gun. I mean, first of all, you're shooting big stuff, right? So I took it because I was on a coastal brown bear hunt down in the Baranof Islands in Alaska. They're not going to let you shoot outside 150, 200 yards anyway.
Okay.
If you wound it, so we got to go find it. So
yeah.
But I don't. I mean, they're 300. They're like a 338. They're like not the Magnum, they're a 300-yard gun.
Okay.
I mean, so.
Yeah, an AccuBond's a good bullet for that too. I mean, at 300, that's going to open up with that weight. And Dave, back when I was talking about that gunsmith Nathan, maybe that could be his name, Dave. I can't remember. I know he hunted north of Golden Valley. Knew Brinkman's up there, Brendan Brinkman. He's married to my cousin, but I know he hunted on. Brendan's got some huge white mule deer up there too. Dave says, on my mission for the cheap rifle project, I found a disturbing lack of 223 5.56 in the new market for bolt actions.
Ruger American, I know, makes one, but I'm not entirely sure a lot of people do. I've been thinking about it. I don't know who's making a lot of them. By the way, cheap gun you can buy. You can, and then I mean, I built I got a Ruger. I want a Ruger American 6.5 Creedmoor at, I don't know, I bought tickets somewhere, right? And so I took the stock off, put Magpul stock on it. That thing,
awesome,
pounds nails. Just it is as accurate a gun as you could buy off the shelf, and they're not very expensive.
A Gen 1 or 2?
Oh, this was a while ago. I think it was the first ones they had.
Yeah. I think the Gen 1s are just as good, if not better. I have a couple. I have 3 Gen 1s. I love those things. So
the stocks are pretty flimsy. So but I didn't put I didn't put like a Macmillan or anything. I just bought a Magpul.
Yeah, Magpuls are stout though, right? How much flex is in those when you get them mounted up? I guess I've never really because the regular Rugers you can just grab them.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really affect accuracy in my experience with them at all.
By the way, that stainless Ruger with the black synthetic, like futuristic stock. If you go to gun shows, right? I can't even remember what it's called.
The paddle stock.
Huh?
That paddle stock.
Yeah, but those were like when I was a sophomore and junior, those were all the rage. And those those are way they are a big commodity at gun shows now.
Yeah.
They were last year. I haven't done any gun shows this year.
Scott, actually, I was on with Scott Bachmeyer Saturday, and we were kind of talking about those a little bit, and I was a fan of them. He doesn't like them, but I was like, I don't know, man. I've always liked them Ruger paddle stock. It is kind of a futuristic. I think we were looking at lever action, tactical lever actions we were talking about or something, and some of them kind of had a stock like that. But Rick says, my dad grew up with Ruger 1, always said that's what made him a great shot.
The amount of times that you get a real good follow-up shot on something it's and the other nice thing is they're a hammer gun, so you've got light trigger, like all of the right things to make yourself a good shot. You only have one. He's right. Like you got to be good at it.
Yep. What's here? We got one for you right here, Governor. What scope company does Kelly prefer? Says Chad Miller's Adventures.
I always end up back with Leopold's, and mostly because I go all over the world. I got the Mark V on my go everywhere gun, and I'm sure there's better glass. Like I have good glass. I have everything. I used to have Citrons I liked a lot. Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of Vortex stuff, but I I've tried the Swaro, I've tried the Night Force. I end up with Leopold. First of all, I think they're tanks. I've dropped.
Yep.
Turns out, if you didn't tell you about my story before, I'm also clumsy climbing mountains. I've had this gun for over a decade. It's gone everywhere in the world with me. Put it in the case at the end of the year. Go out. I might have to do like 1 minute of angle adjustment every year, every other year. The gun is always on. The scope always works. I don't do illuminated. I don't do any of that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Leopold's nice because if you take the time and send them in the ballistic data, they'll send you a custom turret. Turnaround's pretty quick. It works out really well.
So is that your turret on that? Is that, do you got to go MOA or mills, or does it just go yardage on that?
So I'm MOA, but then I bought one of the little Garmin chronographs, which are game changers to me. And you send in
for sure.
You send in your BC, like all your data. I will say I'm running federal ammunition on because I shoot Hornady. I shoot a 6.5 PRC Hornady ELDX, but we always think Hornady is a big company, but when there is powder shortage, federal gets whatever they want, and then everybody gets everything else, is what I've figured out. So and by the way, everybody's trying to do it, but for a while, what Hornady was just the regular Hornady ammo, I couldn't get consistent, like, muzzle velocity. And so when I was running the federal stuff, I got it. And then you just put all that in. You just go right onto Leopold's website, put it all in, and they'll send you a turret. Turnaround's about 2 weeks, and you have a custom turret for your gun. And you just I put all the latitude, longitude, altitude for Richardson, sent it to them. I usually run at about 30. I go 34 degrees, just, I don't know, for temperature, and I don't shoot far enough where that's going to matter. I'm not worried about curvature of the earth crap.
Yeah, Coriolis effect or whatever the heck they call that. Yeah, I don't go that far either. So, okay, well, that's I always thought they were just like a range dial. I didn't know it was. I think if I ever got a CDS, I would get one where I could just click the range in.
Yeah, so I mean, and I got buddies who do that with their binos. They like run all their ballistic data. I'm still a whitetail hunter. Like at the end of the day, it's early morning, it's late at night. It is, I mean, not legal late at night.
I gotcha.
My theory on big whitetails is you don't have time to do all that. I mean, and I hunt south of Richardson. I mean, there's some open area, but it's not like I'm up on a mountain watching elk across a valley. Like, you still got to be able to make this work in a hunting scenario. I want the range. I want to be able to turn my gun to the range, and then I'll make some angle adjustments if I have to. But at the end of the day, I just want to know how far away it is, and I'll dial the turret to that. I don't do anything with wind other than I do holdover for wind. Try and figure that stuff out. All I want's the yardage turret, and I don't even touch the yardage turret.
Well, the 6.5 PRC just poo-poos the wind anyways, doesn't it?
Wind, hey, doping wind is an art. I know there's a science to it, but the science of ballistics up and down is pretty easy. Like, you got a turret and you do it well and you know your gun's shooting that way. That's great. Doping the wind is an art, particularly if you're shooting like across a river bottom. What the wind's doing where you're at and where the deer is at are two different things.
Yeah, where we do our steel challenges out there west of Mandan at Axe's place. It's that huge hill when you're driving out there. If you ever seen the Guns in the 701 sign, it's on, and that wind comes off of there, and then there's another one that drops down. So you get some tricky wind out there, and I mean, I'm using that for my excuse of missing on a couple of them anyways, Kelly. So
yeah. 15-mile-an-hour crosswind at 500 yards is a lot.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially I'm a 223 guy, so I got to buck the wind a lot.
By the way, that's also where the 7 PRC 6.5 faster twist barrels, longer bullet. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'll deal with the drop if they can buck the wind a little better.
Drop for 100% is way easier to deal with than the crosswind too. Like you say too, and it can be, 10 here and then 15 here. Like you said, if you're shooting down river bottoms or something, like I'm saying downhill. Dave says the floppy dildo stocks equals Ruger American Predator Gen 1s. I have one. I gotta say it is floppy, but man, that sucker shoots. I think shoots dimes for me with Baiachi soft points, about 3,050 feet per second. So
I would never buy. Yeah, I see the. I'd never buy a scope without a zero stop because my friends would mess with me. I have too many mean friends. There'd be like a full turnaround. I'd be a mess. Like, like I don't know why I hang out with these humans, but I know exactly what would happen if I didn't have a zero stop on my turrets.
I'm still a dinosaur back with the drop reticles, and I mean, and I'm like, it's only like 3 inches off. I'm good.
I do that too, right? Like that Ruger 270. Like I've got it sighted in on what they like the effective max range. So I think zero's like 318 or 320 because you can't do that. But if it's inside of 400 yards, I'm not messing with the turret. Like I'll figure it out.
Yeah, especially if you're shooting that PRC. That what is it? 400-yard drop on that's what, like 25 inches maybe.
Yeah, and I mean with Leopold scope, it's to hold over to it's a holdover. It's the second dot holdover, and it's going to be close enough to get it handled.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let me get to a few more of these comments. Morgan Stroh says CDS has made a believer out of me. Morgan's he's up there by Grand Forks. He's a friend's NRA guy too, Governor.
Well, and for the high end stuff, like right, Leopold's still reasonable. You're getting into
It is.
I mean, you're getting into it a lot cheaper than Night Force or Swarovski.
Yep.
And by the way, I run most of my lower. I run mostly Vortex. Just I don't know why, but I like consistency, right? Like if my ranch guns, I want them all to be about the same. And then my higher end stuff, when I do it, I go to Leopold. But they're like their VX2 and their VX3 are good scopes.
Yep. I've said for years and years, you don't got to be the best to win. You got to be the most consistent. Consistency wins almost all the time in my book. So, Chad Miller's Adventure says, agreed. Love the CDS system on the Leupold, quick and easy. So, do you say Leopold or Leupold? I never caught what you were saying.
I say Leopold. I think it is Leopold. Whatever. I'm gonna call it what my dad called it growing up.
Okay, I think most people still call it Leopold. I'm not sure exactly what it was. All right, so the comment you were talking about, Dave had here, he says, if scopes have zero stops, I used white shrink tube on the turret and used an ultrafine Sharpie and doped the distances.
Yeah, and I got guys that have all of it taped to their bar. I mean, it's whatever you're comfortable with enough to run in a hunting scenario. I like sending it in, and I'm apparently not. If it's 600 yards, I want to be able to turn to 6.
That's the way I am. See, I want to go 600 yards. I don't want to do mathematics when I'm in the field.
I got to tell you something, JD. You know what I had to put on my gun?
What's
There's a little. You know how people have bubble levels on their rifle? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have that, except it's a magnifier, so I can read my turret.
Oh yeah, you're getting yeah. Well, I got the readers on right now, so
right here. That's a pretty emasculating. Like I always like working on guns. That one was not my favorite thing to put on my gun.
Oh man, I hear you, man. It getting old and getting the readers going, it sucks. But Uncle Dean, he's out there. Hi from Cookeville, Tennessee. How you doing, Uncle Dean? I think they were out there watching a NASCAR race, I do believe. Rick says he loves the 270, one of the best. Yeah, 270, and I've seen Rick shoot his 270. He's deadly with it.
Jackal killed a lot of stuff in cowboy boots, blue jeans, red flannel with the 270.
It still does.
Good at it.
Yeah, 270, man. That's man. Well, we're gonna talk next. The AI, me and you versus AI on the best all around. Hey y'all, 18 wheels, dozen six shooters. How you doing, brother? Were you driving that truck this week? Last week he was in Virginia, I think, when he texted in here. You're gonna need that extra loud clicks next. Yeah, ears are going bad, man. Ears are going bad, man. Oh, all right. So let's all right, we got through that. You ready to do the man versus AI, Governor?
You bet.
All right, man versus AI. Like at the beginning of the show, I said I did this one the first episode I had. I think it was the best all-around 223 round, but I'll go in on a search engine, ask AI a question. In this question, I asked, what is the best all-around hunting cartridge in North America, right? And so AI's answer here, .30-06 Springfield, widely considered the best all-around hunting cartridge in America, praised for its versatility across North American big game from deer and black bear to elk and moose while offering manageable recoil. I disagree with that. And exceptional ammunition availability. And then you give me your opinion on that, and we'll go into the contenders here. And at the end of this, you and I are going to give what we think's the best.
Well, I think a 30-06. One the great thing about it is you can load it up, you can load it down, you can run a 150 grain cartridge, you can run all the way up. I'm not a huge AI knowing what they're talking about in a lot of scenarios type of thing. But they're not, I wouldn't pick a 30-06. They're not embarrassing themselves with that cartridge. Like that is, I mean, that you got 30-30, 270, 30-06, and you get a generation older than me, and people are going to swear by those guns.
Oh yeah, for sure. And when I say I wouldn't pick the 30-06, it's just because I personally do not like it. I told you when they said the manageable recoil, in my experience, I told you before the show, somebody handed me one, I think when I was 10 or 12, and I shot it, and I did not like the recoil on that.
And remember, right, like after World War II, I mean, it was surplus ammo, and it was, I mean, you started doing civilian guns in 30-06. You're talking about the M-Run Garand, right? They're running it.
Yep.
Now, the problem, I would say, outside of recoil, which I think is a big issue, is it's a really long cycle in a bolt action. Like, it's a really long cycle in a bolt action.
Right. That's not considered a short action. That's right. That's not with your 308 and your 243. And all right, let's see. So they say here, key contenders that frequently rank alongside the 30-06 include the 308 Winchester, 270, and 7mm mag, all of which provide effective performance for a wide range of species and distance. And they got a little breakdown. 30-06 capable of handling everything from small deer to large moose, but with bullet weights ranging from 110 to 220, which I see Dave says he's got his 110s going 3,700. That's smoke show.
That's right, a lot.
Yeah, you're on 22 250 range. It remains the most popular cartridge due to its century-long track record. I'm not saying it's the most popular. AI is saying that. It's still pretty popular. So how many people do you hunt with, Kelly, do you think still use a 30-06?
I don't think anybody does.
Nobody I hunt with does. I work with a guy who still uses a 30-06. It still works for him. He's not a big shooter. I mean, he's got his 22s and that, but I mean, he goes out with it and shoots deer, and that's about it.
Yeah, I grew up, I started with the 243. My dad was very recoil conscious. And then when I started hunting bigger deer down by the park out in the Badlands, I bought a 30-06 because I wanted something that was going to knock them down.
Yeah.
But I got out of it. I got out of it after I wasn't good with the recoil. I was 130 pounds when I was a senior in high school. I'm like, I need.
18 Wheels says, Governor Kelly, sir, you have to remember Jamie drinks Coors Light. Enough said. Yes, I do. 18 Wheels is also broke down in Georgia. Just got the room and saw you were on. 6'5" Creed will do anything. He's got the laughing emoji. It will do anything, though. I'm laughing when I'm doing it. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one here, Kelly. 308 Winchester, often cited as slightly less powerful but highly efficient alternate to the 30-06. It's ideal for deer, black bear, hunting out to 400 yards. So I would say AI nailed that one pretty much.
Hey, if you're going to pick what I think is the best all-around hunting rifle in North America, I'd pick a 308 for one specific reason. And I reckon I switched back into it after COVID. You can find the ammo anywhere.
Just like 223.
Any gun shop, I don't care. You can go to the smallest town in the most backwoods place in rural Saskatchewan, and they will have 308 ammo. And at the end of the day, if you're traveling and you're hunting and you're doing all of that stuff, you will forget it. You will make a mistake. You will have something happen. The airlines will lose it. It's a little bit why I think the 30-06 was so powerful. And there's nothing in North America you can't kill with the 308. It's manageable recoil with current. We were just talking about turrets and all of that. Incredibly effective. The gun will outshoot the shooter 99.9% of the time. And I mean, that's what my kid uses. If it's not my favorite, if I owned 5 rifles, none of them would be a 308, but you can get it. You can get it in lever action. You can get it. You run a Savage 99 bolt or a lever action. You can get bolt. It goes on an AR-10 platform. The versatility of the cartridge. It is our version of meat and potatoes. You can get any gun configuration that is made in a 308, and the types of bullets you can buy, the types of ammunition you can buy. There's nothing fancy about it, but it'll kill anything in North America.
I think Kelly just proved that he's the most pro-gun, best hunting governor in North America. I don't even think we need to ask AI that. That was you broke that down like I was listening to the old gun writers, man. That was pretty awesome, Governor. And we got the comments. Agree with you about the 308. I can't talk crap. Just bought another 308 yesterday. 18 Wheels says.
Anybody who is trying to buy ammo after COVID, tell me what you were. I mean, I bought a Sig Cross in 308. I've got 3 guns in 308 right now. I built a Rome Firearms, which is a company out of Grand Forks. I had them build me an AR-10 platform. Like, if you don't have ammo for it, you can't shoot it.
Yeah, and the thing about a 308 too, and a 223, Kelly, if shit ever does hit the fan, and we got the same caliber as the military does, right?
Yeah, and by the way, you can buy wolf ammo. You can buy, like, if you want to, you want to run through it, you can do it remote. You can do it fairly cheap. I mean, nothing cheap about ammo, but like you can run it about as cheap as possible for a center fire rifle. You can do precision shooting. You can do meat and potato shooting, like all of it. And like I said, if I picked 5 calibers, if I could pick 5 rifles, the 308 wouldn't be any of them. If I could only pick 1 rifle, it would be a 308.
Yeah, I would. All right, here you go, Governor. You won't hear Maura Healy say that.
He might be right, by the way, on the 6.5 Creedmoor. Like,
oh, the fanboy one you're looking at here, this one?
Yeah, like what? Great! It's the original fanboy cartridge. It's military surplus, right? Like, at the end of the day, I want to be able to get ammo.
Yeah, 6.5 took its place. Josh says 7M08 was the best thing to come from the 308. I like the 7M08, but I'd 308's near my top. Rick says best governor ever. Sydney's Joquist 3749. I love my 30-06 light barrel Mossberg with composite stock.
God,
all right.
Kicks.
What's that?
That sounds like it kicks a lot.
It does. It does. I hope there's a count on that thing. And I mean, I did have two shoulder surgeries, so that's where I'm coming from on that. But we put a count on it. I mean, I could. All right, let's hit one more of these here, and then we'll go to the next, which is a good one. Really like my 6.5 300 Weatherby for deer, 0 at 300 with the Barnes 127 long range X. Takes a lot of the guesswork out of aiming high shoulder.
I think that's fantastic until you get on one airline and they lose your ammo.
Right.
Not sure you're finding a lot of 6.5 300 Weatherby.
Yeah, for sure not. Let's see. 7mm mag is such a great all-around Western round, though. Yep, Chad, we're going to get that. Dave says, I think my best 20-shot group at 1,000 with 3-way was 10 inches. My best 5-shot, unfortunately, was 3. I don't know if there's anything unfortunate about a 3-inch group with 5 shots.
At 1,000 yards?
Yeah, I told you he was a state
he's doing
champion.
fine.
All right, Governor. Next one here, 270, which I hunt. One of my best friends hunts with the 270, and that thing's a freaking absolute killing machine.
Anything elk and below a 270 is all you ever need for, like, it's. If I had 5 guns, one of them would be a 270.
Yeah, I've just never liked the looks of a 270 round, but that doesn't mean anything because it's very effective. Known for its flat trajectory and moderate recoil. Again, I would not say moderate recoil. It is highly effective. I shot one with a count on it. It was fairly moderate. Effective for deer and antelope, although it lacks the heavy bullet options for very large game like moose. All right, but 150 grain 270 going what, like 2,900 to 3,000? That'll smoke a moose. No problemo, in my opinion.
Yeah, people kill. First of all, moose aren't that hard to kill. They have huge lungs.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me who shot them.
It's easier to kill a moose than it is to kill elk. elk eat lead better than moose do. Moose are big animals, and you've got forgiveness. I mean, a double lung shot on a moose is not that. I mean, their lungs are literally like turkey platters.
Yeah. Which reminded me when you said elk and 308, it reminded me about Mike Waddell from, I can't think of the name of his hunting show right now, but he said he has 100% killed more elk out to 350 with his 308 Tika than he has with any other thing. And he's got custom made, his words, I have custom made guns and about every caliber he can, he said, but when I want to go kill an elk, I still grab that 308. 150 grain soft points is what he shot at. And he said, worked like a charm for him every time. So, I mean, that, from a guy who hunts probably more than you even, right? He, 308s for him. And the Tika, beat the Tika. Steve Langley says, like my Bergara 300 Win Mag with a can. Yeah, a can tames them 300s pretty good. Justin Latinsky.
I think if you stretch this out after North America, like if you say what's the best cartridge in the world, then you're talking 300 Win Mag or 375. Again, because you can get the ammo anywhere. And what are you gaining with a 7 PRC or a 300 PRC that matters to you? Because I'm not good enough to notice the difference. 300 Mag does. I'm not good at this is just personally for me. I want a gun I can shoot a box of shells at 500 yards at steel and know I'm not flinching. And 300, you get into the 300 Win stuff, and you have to be a better rifle shot than I am. I know I can tell after 4 or 5 shots I need to quit. Now cans change the whole game, but you can't take cans everywhere. Right. And I want a gun I can shoot a lot of.
Yep, me too. Because not only do I like to shoot, but I think it just makes you more proficient with. I mean, I don't even think. I know it makes you more proficient with whatever you're using. So, and Justin Latinsky said he is a 375 H&H man. Lynette says, not sure about this ballistic talk, but I know I voted for the best North Dakota governor. There you go, Kelly.
So I'm like, so we're talking 6.5 Swede, and he's right? That was the Creedmoor in Europe before. Yeah. Creedmoor was cool, but again, military round.
I mean, actually, the greatest sniper of all time, Simo Heha, that's what he shot, right? The 6.5 Swede, didn't he?
But you could get the ammo everywhere, and we forget before machining and all of this, these guys were making. There weren't 17,000 calibers, and that was. I mean, that's what So my wife's from Norway. Anybody who hunts in Scandinavia, they're running a 6.5 Swede.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's for Simo. Was Simo from Norway? I think he was from Norway, but anyway, I could be wrong. Maybe it was something. It was a 6.5 something. I thought it was a Swede. You know, I'm talking about Simo Haya, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, 400 and some Russians he sniped out. So, Chad says, Chad Miller Adventures, his brother killed his North Dakota moose. Oop, that clicked up on me with his 270 on. Is that John Adams' place up in M10, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Governor Kelly, help us take cans.
The only problem there is you have to hunt with Adams. Yeah, 18 wheels. He says, help us, and he cans everywhere. He's out in Massachusetts, I think he is. So, if you want to, so here's what I think happens on that. One, we'll come into session. South Dakota just did their can law. A lot of state laws are based on federal law. We'll fix that in the next legislative session, which will be easy. But I think what you'll see happen with the suppressor stamp is the same thing that happened with Obamacare when they zeroed out the tax. The stamp is a tax stamp. The tax is now $0. That means there's no tax. I don't think we're that far away from having I think there are a couple different pieces of litigation moving through, and I think they're going to end up in the same spot that the Obamacare tax or the Obamacare mandate came from. Which is once you don't have a tax, you no longer have the taxing authority. Now there will still be states that ban them, but I think you'll get out of the federal tax stamp regulation from that.
Steve wants to trade you for Governor Walz. No deal, man. That's not happening, Steve.
I can load a Beretta 8400.
This is true. 18 Wheels says he's from the communist country of Massachusetts. We need all the help we can get. Yeah, 18 Wheels, man. It's got to be tough being a gun guy.
We need all our Democrats to be like Democrats in Alaska. Everybody in Alaska has guns. Doesn't matter if they're Democrats.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can wish in one hand and you know what in the other and see which one gets full first. But so, all right, we got two more, Kelly. Hold on, you know what? Before I forget, I got a text for you here. I'm gonna go off topic just for a second, but somebody asked me to ask
We
you
haven't
this.
gone off topic yet.
No, not at all. Not. When you get a chance, he said, "Can you ask the governor how the marginal acres program is going?"
So we opened it up. So this is a pilot project. We got 10,000 acres funded through Game and Fish and Outdoor Heritage. It's designed to be landowner friendly. We started to try and get marginal acreage back into habitat, but acreage landowners want to put into habitat. I think we are going to have way more people that have applied for it than we're going to have acreage available, which is both good and bad. It's good because we wanted to do it small enough that after we do a year of it, we can go talk to the people, the landowners, be like, what'd you like, what you didn't like, what do you want to change? And then secondly, I think eventually we can get up to 600,000 acres across the state of North Dakota. And we're talking about acreage farmers want to put into it. Now we're not, it's going to be flexible, but like everybody, you got 18 acres at the end of a cattail slough in your tillable field that every other year your tractor gets stuck in.
Yep.
And, your production's not very great on it. I want you to want to put that 18 acres into habitat, right? This isn't going to replace CRP. We don't have the funds to do that at North Dakota, but the farmers should like it because it'll lower their crop insurance because you'll take marginal acreage out. Hunters should like it because that's a great place for ducks or pheasants or grouse or all of that. And sportsmen should like it because 93% of the acreage in North Dakota is privately owned. If we don't deal with habitat on private property, we don't have a habitat program. Yep. So we worked with with the Stockmen's, Farm Bureau, Farmers Union, grain growers to try and develop a plan that farmers and ranchers want to use. And then the next piece of this will be figuring out some incentives for access on private land.
So what are you talking? What are you wanting to plant in there? Do you guys have it all worked out? What are you doing?
Yeah, so we're gonna work with Soil Bank and we're gonna deal with that. I mean, it's gonna be cover crop stuff. It's gonna be grasses. I want to let them do food plots. Like I don't have a problem with any of that. I want to feed them and house them, and then I want it flexible enough. The second part of this, we'll figure out how we do it with grazers and stuff like that. But we want to and we're already getting that. I did Bachmeyer's show a couple Saturdays.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And I'm with you guys, but it's harder when you're doing rotational grazing and some of that stuff. So just this once, I want government to take a small thing, get it right, and then expand it as opposed to trying to move too fast.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's a great idea. Actually, I like that. I know if you missed that, go back Scott's YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors. You can listen to the whole show with Kelly on her. He explained it quite a bit more on there. But yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate you giving that answer out there. Good question there. Thanks for putting that in. Just curious, 18 Wheels said, what do you think of Maureen Healy? Have you ever met her?
I haven't.
Okay, I mean, from what I seen her talk, I don't know if you really want to, but you're the governor, and it's part of what you maybe got to do. Steve says, what it would be like to have an honest governor? I would like my home state again. Yeah, I mean, I don't. So, all right, Kelly, let's finish this. Let me finish because I know we're really gonna get down. I know it, man. I guess if I wasn't living here and I heard you talking, I'd be like, oh my god, this is great. I mean, I live here and it's great. I love hearing you talk guns. You're a normal guy. It's awesome, man.
I try and be a normal, reasonable, rational politician. I'm pretty radical about guns.
Perfect. I mean, yeah. All right. So Morgan says, I like to invite the governor to our NRA banquet. I think he means this Saturday in Grand Forks. I mean, that might be a little short time for you. But
I got family Easter on Saturday. Thanks, Morgan. I appreciate it, but I don't get to see my brothers and their kids very often, and for some reason it's going to be Saturday, not Sunday this year.
I'm not sure the weather might allow you to go up there anyways. We'll have to see on that one, right? They might be getting nail hammered with snow up in Grand Forks.
Well, it is March, so it's spring baseball, so there's going to be a blizzard anywhere. I asked Bachmeyer that too. I go, let me know when the first calf drops because that's when I know the first blizzard's coming.
Gene Cox says, good evening, Gene. Great idea. This will help habitat, says Rick. let them do some food plot stuff. Yeah, we planted, I think, 2.5 acres of corn for the first time just for food plots, Kelly, and that was amazing. We're going to double that this year. I'm looking forward to that. That was awesome, man. See here. Sydney says, gonna have to figure out how to change the email address this uses, but this old trucker close to 70 sure likes having the governor on live talk. Thank you, sir. Great show. Okay. What's good, y'all? Hey, Brandon, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for jumping in. All right, Kelly, we got 2 more guns we're going to talk about, and then you got her dialed in what you're going to be your all around North American hunting the best, and I will. So the next one, 7mm. Man, this one would be right up there for me. Superior long range ballistics, high sectional density. You know, that means your bullet's not going to blow up, basically. I mean, it's going to peel back real nice, that 7mm. Making a top choice for elk, large deer, albeit with increased recoil. And I mean, I always tell my buddies who hunt elk and stuff, I'm like, what's one thing you get? I've never hunted elk, but I'm like, 7mm mag, if you're just going to get one thing to hunt stuff with. You know, Brad, and that's what I told Brad to get, and it's worked great for him. 300 Win Mag provides significant energy and range advantages for, like you were talking about with the 300, Kelly. Long distance on large game. I mean, that was Chris Kyle will tell you when he was alive that was his #1 cartridge out to 1,000 yards for sniping over in the sandbox. It's often considered overkill for smaller species. Yeah, I have seen some massive damage done to antelope with guys with a 300.
Shoot a solid.
Yeah.
No, shoot a solid.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Hey, when the guys in Africa, when they're shooting like the tiny stuff, they have them run their 375s with solids.
I mean, the energy just got to blow to make it hay with the organs in there when it goes through, even with that. So,
but I mean, if you don't have any mushrooming, right, and you should shoot the big. I'm also a believer you should shoot the biggest gun you can shoot accurately.
Yep.
Kill things.
Yep.
There's not that much meat on the front quarter of a deer anyway.
No. Really... I know. I always say I'll keep that front quarter if we ever get back to the dirty 30s. I'll start, scarecrowing stuff off of there in the rib cage, and so I would say, I know we got some comments on here. I would say North America. I'm going to say a Creedmoor, man. I'm taking a 6.5 Creed. That would be my. Because I can shoot that thing up to 143. I shoot 120s, and I know that bullet opens and has over 1,000 foot-pounds of energy at 500 yards yet. So, hey, Kelly Gross, what's up, brother?
I already said if I had, I mean, I'll tell you what it is because it's the gun I take all over the world. It's a 6.5 PRC for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get ammo availability, and like I said, if I only could own one gun, it'd be a 308. But I'm the same as you. You can find some heavy for caliber bullets in the 6.5 PRC, and it does everything, and it's unbelievably light. I mean, it's not as light as a Creedmoor to shoot.
Right, they are pretty light, though. I mean,
but I have killed everything all over the world with a 6.5 PRC, and it's the only gun I don't know why I keep buying rifles because it's the only gun that comes out of my case. Any other?
That's kind of why I quit doing it, man. Gene says, get one of each and a lever action. Rick says, I knew you would go with that. Love that Creedmoor. Yeah, it's so accurate. Even in a junk and even crappy rounds, still shoot like an inch out of it, the Winchester silver box or something. And the sectional density on that 6.5 bullet, it's just, for me, it's tough to beat.
And it bucks the wind really, really well.
Yep. I still almost catch myself sometimes because I was a 308 guy for so many years. I overcompensate on the wind, and I'm like, God dang, I didn't have to hold off that much with this thing. And I like that. So, and hopefully I get a chance this year to use that, but we'll see. I had Jeb on. I tried to butter him up, make sure I could get a buck tag, but I know. Well, that'll work.
That's how it works, JD.
I know. Jeb's a good. I get along with Jeb.
I'd have a sheep tag.
Right. Oh, all right. So let's go on, Kelly. We got one more here, Kelly. The gun control group criticizes Ottawa over their poor participation in their gun buyback. They're so nice, they're going to buy your guns back from you. And if you don't do it, I will say this now before I forget the end of the story. This is the last day up there. They have to do this, and their Secretary of Safety or whatever they call this guy, his name will come up here in the story, I think. Gary Anandenson. Gary's a long name. He said they're going door to door, man. They're going door to door to get the rest of them. So, I
And in
mean,
completely unrelated news, there's been this rash of gun loss and gun break-ins. In the boat, with my guns, and my boat sank.
A lot of people up there fishing for muskies are going to be pulling up 308s out of the bottom.
They used to, like, this reminds me of, like, way back pre-Revolutionary War, where they'd, like, bury the cannon, or they'd put the cannons in the well before the British would come through to, like, go door to door to take what are they, and fine, great, this is Ottawa. Go up by Rosetown, Saskatchewan. Let me know how this goes for you. First of all, going door to door up there will take you a month. Second of all, be careful.
Saskatchewan's one of them that says they're not going to participate. I got one more. I'm go back to the last story. I'm going to answer this question here quick, Kelly. JD, you just got to use 180 grain bullets in the 308. Then the wind is the same. Yeah, 180 grain bullets got a ton of freaking recoil. I always used 150 Nosslers, man, and they bucked the wind pretty good for me too. The Nosler, man, that Nosler was an absolute killer in that 150 and the 308.
Sure, and I love 308s too, but I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason match shooters, although a lot of the match guys are going to the 6 Creed now.
Yeah,
like,
6
there's
GTs.
a reason, and it's because those long bullets just hold up better in the wind.
Yep. And I don't know. I always got, I'm kind of older. I'm stuck with the speed thing a little bit too, which I've kind of accepted the Creed more. I think mine goes like 2,800 feet per second, which, my neighbor guy, he's a young guy. That is so freaking slow. I don't get rid of that thing. I'm not. Dave says he used 220s in 308. Man, I have shot him. I think you're friends with Tony Mossett, right? Tony's, he come out once with like 178 308s out at our place. And I got to say, man, that thing was just stacking them up. And I think we were shooting at 9. And that time Gong was at 980 or something. And we were just stacking them on there. So, yeah, anyways, back to Ottawa. Their main, this gun control group, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Kelly. Police Soviet. Says weak political leadership and messaging are behind the low participation in Canada's federal gun. Do you buy that? I don't buy that for a second. Weak political leadership and messaging. No, people just don't want to give their freaking guns up, man.
Well, I think it can be both, right? Like, they have weak political leadership. That is correct.
Yeah, for sure.
Their idea of the outdoors is whatever park they're at in Ottawa. Turns out if you live in southern Alberta on the plains and you're running cattle and you got grizzlies and wolves because of other weak, bad political decisions, you're probably not giving up your guns either.
No. And Alberta, man, huge bodied deer up there. You were talking about that earlier. Huge bodied deer. Alberta's just got anything in Canada just got massive bodied. Even their antelope, Alberta, I've seen some up there shot that were pretty big. But so about 52,000 have been reported so far. The government expected, Governor, 136,000. I think Collier Noir said 2.5% of their estimated guns have been turned in up there. So they're way below. And of course, I don't remember how many. I think there was like, okay, here we go, 2,500 types that they banned. Of course, the AR-15 and Mini 14, right? Weapons of war, that's what they're calling them. You know how they always do that. Weapons of war, mass destruction. I asked Dave that Dave J that on the show Monday. Dave, what was the main battle rifle in World War I? Bolt action 30-06. That's a weapon of war too. I guess you got to ban those too, right? And then, like I said, the 30th, that's this.
Yesterday.
That's past, man. It's time. Door kicking starting, according to this guy. I watched him on TV before the show on YouTube. He said they're coming to kick some doors in on these guys. So, and you were talking about all these other places other than Ottawa. They got Saskatchewan, Alberta. You mentioned that, Ontario, Manitoba, Newfoundland, and Labrador. I have no clue where Labrador is. But I did a story last week. Doug Ford, the premier in Ontario, he shot a guy who broke into his house. That was my happy ending, hootenanny. He goes, yeah, good. He should have shot him a few more times. And then, of course, they didn't like that up there. But the SKS, you're familiar with the SKS. Yeah. That was, they put a loophole in now because a lot of these indigenous tribes up there are using that for their hunting, and they were raising some hell. I remember that when they first started doing this a few years ago, and now they're talking about putting like a loophole in there for them to keep it. But I don't know, this gun control group, which I told you I couldn't pronounce, Police Sauvignon. It's some French looking name to me. Yeah,
well, the French don't need guns, so
right. Well, yeah.
they surrender when they have them.
Let's get drunk, smoke cigarettes, and piss in the streets. Let the Americans fight the wars. You know, that's how they always are, right? So I don't know what's going to happen up there. I would not want to be anybody kicking doors in, and I don't care what country it is, really, because you know, our UPS guy, he's from one of the Balkans countries over there, and they banned semi-autos, and I'm not going to say what they have, but you know, who knows what's listening over there. But yeah, they didn't turn their guns in. They buried them, like you were talking about a boating accident. They're under the ground now. So, which I wouldn't either. You can see what happens. Look at Iran right now, right? Trump wants them to fight back, which I do too, but they don't have any freaking guns to fight back. What are you going to do? Yeah. Obama left billions of crates of money on the airport there. They should drop off crates of AK-47s for him or something, because I don't know how else you're going to end that on the ground, but that's a whole other story. He says Canada went south with Justin Dildo. When he got put into office. Yeah, they were showing videos of him right in 2010 saying, no, Canada's not going to ban guns. We all grew up with them here. And then 5 years later, they're going to ban AR-15s. And then they went in 2022 with banning the pistols. You can't own pistols there anymore, or trade, buy them or trade them or whatever. You know, Katy Perry's boyfriend, he pretty much did a 180 on that one, which isn't a surprise. So Bad Boy says, I don't own any guns, ... Isn't Canada taking guns? No. Yeah, Dan, that's what we were just talking about. It's door kicking time now up there on the 25 different types of firearms. So yeah, I'm glad we live here. And I'm glad we got a governor like Kelly. I'm not one bit concerned. I'm glad we got a legislature that's pro Second Amendment. I'm not worried one bit, thankfully. Even if the midterms don't go our way, but you know, that's a long ways off. You and I have kind of had some discussions about that, but I am getting
environment
concerned
out there right now. It's you guys. It's you know, for as much as we love Trump, there's a flip side to that coin from people who really, really don't. And
yep,
it's. But we're gonna be good in North Dakota. We're going to keep the state going where it needs to go. I'm very confident we will hold the Senate. I think the House is a crapshoot. I think anybody who, first of all, they're still trying to do redistricting in Florida. They're still trying to do redistricting in Virginia. We don't even know what the map looks like yet. But at the end of the day, it's you know, midterms are tough for presidents. And and most of the presidents can't get under people's skin the way President Trump can.
Yeah, he's definitely the master at that, among other things. But and I mean, if the election was tomorrow, I'm saying we're losing the House. But like I said, the way from one week to the other, how these people lose their shit over Trump, I mean, it could completely go. By the time November rolls around, we could be all done in Iran and everything went, and something in the economy turns around. I mean, you know, they'll forget. If gas goes back to 220, Kelly, they'll be bitching about something else. I mean, it's
correct. I mean, that'll happen. And I mean, all of that, but also remember the end, like we had a good shot in Michigan for governor. Some of that's because the mayor of Detroit's running as an independent. I think Michelle Tafoya, say whatever you want. And I've got some concerns, but I think she's as good a candidate as you could put up as a Republican in Minnesota.
That has a chance of winning, right?
Yeah, like I'm not saying I agree with her on everything because I don't, but
agreed.
At the end of the day, is she voting for Schumer for majority leader or not? And if she's not, then I like her. I like her better than the alternative, right?
Yeah, yep. I mean that's exactly where I'm going.
And that would be the one thing, like telling people like casual, JD, you and I have talked about this, right? Like. There's a lot of crappy stuff that happens in Congress, and there's a lot of reasons. When I was there's a lot of reasons to get mad at me too. I mean, I took votes. There's people on here didn't like, not about guns, I don't think.
No, never.
I think my gun record's 100%.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I cussed you out on a couple of them, which was fine, right?
But at the end of the day, what you care about, and I'll tell you this, particularly in the House, Who are you voting for majority leader? Because if you're voting for Hakeem Jeffries for majority leader, it doesn't matter what your second vote is, right?
Nope.
Like, so,
Nope.
I know we get frustrated and we all have phones and we all get information on a daily basis. Some of it's even accurate. A lot of it is not. But at the end of the day, the easiest way I can explain this is Abigail Spanberger, who I served with in Congress, was supposed to be a moderate Democrat.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Go
Played it
look
up
at
big
her
time.
first 2-month agenda. Gun control, AR, magazine bans, taxes, like all of it. Like
Crazy.
I know when we get out here, we get frustrated once in a while, but I don't care who you think the most moderate member of the North Dakota legislature is. They're not voting for an AR-15 ban. They're not voting for magazines. They're not voting for increase in taxes. They're not doing those things. So
Yep. Yeah.
Spanberger's enemy of good in politics, and sometimes we forget that it can be a lot worse. Ask your buddy from Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, he was just commenting. I wish I had a governor like Kelly out here. Yeah, and I mean, I say that stuff to people too, and they get frustrated. I'm like, hey man, you got to realize where we're at here. I go, look at the centers Minnesota has, and they got Walls, who didn't even know how to load his own shotgun when Kelly showed him, and now he wants to ban everything. You know, the first round over there with the gun bans, Kelly, he had his that their House luckily is 50-50 and no Republicans voted for it to pass. Now they got another thing coming. It went through the Senate. I mean, the Republicans I think said none of them are voting for it, so that's going to get stopped.
Yeah, and they're all unconstitutional, but then somebody's got to sue them, and then you get into this whole thing, and it's like the pistol brace thing, right? Like, you got to go beat an ATF regulation. What a dumb thing. I mean, like you don't get to do like you can tie that stuff up for 3.5 years in court, and
now they're enforcing it again on a bunch of people. I don't understand how they're like. In my opinion, now is when, because Pam Bondi gets a lot of grief. She should just come down there and I mean, you're an attorney. I don't know how it works, but I mean, can't she come down there and drop the hammer on these guys and say it's already been ruled unconstitutional, boys?
Yeah, and I get it, so again, I'm pretty radical about guns, so I get a little frustrated.
I say commonsensical, not radical.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is first of all, it was designed for wounded veterans. Like,
right.
Pistol braces were
a lot of people don't know that.
And second of all, like, you want to. The problem is that, like, you want to ban like gun crime. Sure, I'm assuming some like high-end drug cartels probably use $1,800 ARs once in a while, but most of it is like cheap Kel-Tec handguns. Like, turns out, we all talk about drug dealing as a profitable business. Most of them live in their parents' basement.
Right.
They're not spending $1,800 on a Trijicon scope on top of a $3,500, Rome firearm that made they're buying the cheapest guns they can utilize to do this stuff. So why are we going to penalize guys who like to do this stuff because somebody on TV saw it in a movie? Well, you see it with officer involved shootings. They're like, why didn't you shoot him in the leg? I'm like, have you ever
yeah, it's my favorite.
Because first of all, cops are taught to shoot once they shoot once, they're supposed to shoot until the threat is over.
And I don't blame them.
With all due respect to most of my law enforcement friends, you have to shoot a handgun a lot to be good with it.
Yep.
I mean, a lot.
Yep.
And that's
100%.
Your heart rate is going 7,000 beats a minute, because it turns out you're in a bad situation. And even our professionals in law enforcement aren't above getting nervous and getting jittery. Like, it happens.
Well, I tell people, look what you do when you get a big buck in your sights. Imagine when your life's on the line and you got a split second to decide what's going to happen there. You don't, you can make a lot of mistakes there. And like you said, if you're not, being accurate with your pistol is one thing, but you also got to be calm under pressure. So.
And these guys are rolling up at 2 a.m. They're the only ones probably sober when they're showing up. They got to make decisions in legitimately a split. And I know this, right? Because I spent 10 years as a criminal defense attorney. I try and take that 10-second incident and stretch it out into the most reasonable, like, that was my job. And then all of a sudden you got people on TV calling them SK-15s or AR-47s and shooting people in the legs running because they watched a Bond movie. And I'm like, you just go away.
Yeah, the shooting in the leg thing is always funny. I would love to just get some kind of simulator where they had to try that. Let me get to a few of these comments here, Kelly, then we'll get the happy ending hootenanny here and we'll wrap it up. Let's see here. Dan says, if the Save America Act goes in, it will help. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'll admit I'm not totally schooled up on that, but I mean, I thought like just ID would be good. And then some people say they give illegals IDs in states, which I know I've seen that. So it's always something they got to work around on. Trump is a master troller. Indeed. Midterms are always tough. Massachusetts has Pocahontas. JD, this is a great show. Thanks to both of you. You're welcome, Steve. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I forgot this one. 18 Wheel said, smash that like button. Not only that, guys, you got what's you doing the other hand now? Right up there. My Venmo. Hit that Venmo. Support the show. If you got anybody who wants to sponsor the show, let me know. But I appreciate that Venmo. Any donation's good. But you can do it monthly. I'd even appreciate that even more. But yeah, if you're not going to do none of that, at least hit that like button. Bad Boy says, how do we as citizens get law enforcement to agree more on loosening their grip on where we as society are, it jumped up on me, are let to do? I don't know. I almost feel like we are pretty free, really.
Yeah, I mean, so I've got to know a lot of cops over the years, like through all of it. I think for the most part, that comes down to leadership at whatever department you're at. You notice it a lot. I mean, we got great sheriffs in North Dakota. Turns out they get a stand to election with their voters. But I mean, I think we're pretty good in North Dakota. I do think, and I say this and I make fun of it once in a while. The one thing with cops is when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. But the vast majority of law enforcement, it's just true, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But they got a really tough job and they get second guessed a lot. But I also think the good ones know where they're enforcing the law, and they know. I mean, there's a difference between downtown Fargo on a Friday night and a Mott street dance on a Saturday night.
Right. Oh, big time.
And by the way, the good cops that are doing both of those. Remember, we had almost a year of DAPL protests, and nobody got killed.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
You cannot tell me that's not because we had great leadership and great law enforcement people putting up with a lot of shit from a lot of people that were trying to get them to start shit. And I always hesitate if I think cops are getting a little too badge heavy, but I think by and large in North Dakota, we have really good law enforcement.
Yeah. I mean, in every, it's said over and over, but I mean, in every profession, there's people that aren't, but yeah, I mean, I knew as you, I'm sure did. And most people listening had somebody either involved in that down there on the law enforcement side or National Guard side or something. Right. So yeah, man, some of the stories, unless you talk to them and hear their stories, you don't really know the shit.
Well, these guys are running overtime. You can't tell me somebody's girlfriend didn't break up with. I mean, they're dealing with they're not robots. They have personal lives. They have kids in hospitals. They're missing baseball games and hockey games to deal with this crap. Like the amount of professionalism that was shown over the course of that, we don't celebrate the good things enough, and that is one of the things that you cannot tell me North Dakota is about the only place in the world that would have made that happen that way.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, look at, for Christ's sake, they were driving around Todd Mitchell's place threatening him. And I mean, if they're doing that to him, what do you think they're doing to people down there when they're doxing them and taking pictures of their faces?
Correct.
And,
the only person got hurt blew herself up.
Right. Right. And tried to sue, I think, right. And she lost anyway. So
yeah.
Then
you can't sue for being stupid.
Yeah, Rick Rowe, he was there. Yeah, Rick was he was in the Guard, so he was. Let me get to a few more comments here, Kelly. Don't forget that femoral artery that runs through the leg. Yeah, I never forget about that. Dave says, I would love to see a budget for mandatory range time for our Leos. There's nothing more than a few that should be downgraded to a baton for self and public safety. I mean, I'd be down with that.
I mean, I hesitate. I mean, there's some things if you're gonna enforce it, we need more law enforcement. We need more kids to go into law enforcement. We need more people to be on departments. whether it's physical or law or gun training. Well, the minute you do it, you either gotta pay them to go do it, or you're going to pay them overtime to do it on their time off. And for as good as our law enforcement is, I don't know any of these departments that aren't still looking for people. So I think in a perfect world that would all work. But you're gonna have to pay them to be on duty to go do that, which means you have to have a full shift, because at the end of the day, you want everybody there.
I'd love to get paid to shoot, but I'm too old
Me
and got
too.
too bad of a wrist to be a law enforcement. Yeah. So a few more comments. Bad Boy says, "Oh yeah, nothing against Leos, just the fact that they are the ones who tend to push back on some of the loosening of certain laws." Yeah, I mean, I have seen that in some gun stuff up at the Capitol. It kind of bugged me, but
You know who you don't see there?
what's that?
Sheriff. You know who you don't see? Like when you're talking.
Yeah, sheriffs aren't. Yeah,
you don't see sheriffs there, because they got to go back and ask the voters to vote for them again.
I know I said this before on the show too, but the vast majority of law enforcement officers I've met have been cool guys. And when we had the BLM and the Antifa guys come here in 2020 down Main Street, and I was on a friend of mine's business down there. The law enforcement officers I talked to were cool, man. I mean, we had firearms protected, and they were just like, "Hey, what kind of gun you got?" And then we were comparing and talking suppressors, and these guys were totally freaking cool dudes.
Well, on the other answer, right? Like you see this stuff across the country, and you see these guys dressed up like Tommy Tactical and G.I. Joe. That's not who I'm scared of as an anti-protest. I'm scared of my buddies drinking PBR and lawn chairs with their Benelli shotguns at their shop, being like, "I'm not looking for trouble, but I'm not looking to go. If you break in here, you're gonna have a real bad night."
Right.
The other side, I mean, and like oil patch, like you talk to our guys in Western North Dakota. I mean, you don't need new laws. You need to enforce the ones we have. Like you have guys walking into Runnings or Shields and buying guns and straw man purchasing and sending them to go get them and then hammer them. Like,
yeah,
you don't need to change the law. You just need to get the bad actors.
Agreed, but they always seem, well, just like Canada, they want to go after everybody else, because gangbangers and career criminals and people who don't give a shit, they don't care about registering their firearms or none of this crap. They're not going to turn them in. See, Josh says the proficiency rate among Leos is crazy low, actually. I mean, I've seen some that were pretty bad. I've never been at a whole range with them before. I know, but my instructor for my concealed carry was a law enforcement. That guy could snipe shit pretty good, but I mean, he had to. One of the reasons why
Travis Holding Eagles, he's with BCI. He might be one of the best shooters in the country.
Yeah. I mean, I should have shot his gun. He said we could have. It was
Staccato.
Yeah, with a dot on it, and I mean, the guy was just shooting freaking quarters at like 20 yards with that thing. It was awesome. Of course, it was a 9mm, the best right there. So, all right, I'm going to get this.
Like the 9mm 45 debate, we're still talking before all of these upgrades in ammo, right?
Yeah.
Like when you were shooting like old school full metal jacket, there's a real difference. Like now, like you buy bullets that look like they're from sci-fi movies, and
9mm with modern ammo. I mean, that's why every the FBI and everybody's switching back to using 9s, man.
Yeah.
JD, if I were a gangster, I would care. Yeah. Steve says, I shot with guys out there and they were good. Okay. Yeah. Steve used to be running the Friends NRA here. So
I'm reading this one on here. It says, if you've ever lost your cool while dealing with an idiot, just remember that cops deal with them all the time. Give them a break. They are humans.
Yeah.
And the other answer is, and I try and tell this to everybody all the time, you know when a cop knows a traffic stop's a routine? When it's over.
Yeah, I was going to say they never know what's going to happen.
You're pulling somebody over at 2 a.m. on the side of the road on rural highway in North Dakota. The number one thing I want every cop to do is get home at night. Everyone.
Yeah.
That will deal with the rest of it.
Dave says 1911 45 shot down a Jab Zero, just saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. 45 ACP, was that like a grease gun or something? And they just let the whole mag loose, and they like you said though, Kelly, that was back, it was all FMJ, modern ammo.
They also were running, I mean, they had the Thompsons, like all of that. They didn't get the big drums. They was the military. They only got the single stick.
Yeah. I mean, what did them sticks hold in those? Like probably 20, right?
I don't know, but I got to get one, but I don't want a replica. I want to find an old school real one.
And the debate, Gene says a 38 Super is better than both.
He's probably not wrong. I mean,
yeah, I'm not. I'm like on my 9mm, like I'm on the 223, man. I mean, that's
and there's some weird. Like we always talk Wildcat and this stuff because I don't shoot a lot of handguns, but like the 327 mag. I mean, 40 Smith and Wesson is going away now. Like, but that
I'm happy for that.
Yeah, I mean but the reason 40 Smith is going away is because 9mm ammo got better.
Yeah, they tested them again, and it actually outperformed it. So 45 was in the stick, he said. What do we got here? Bad Boy says, I give major props to all my brothers. I graduated the academy with it, actually stuck with it. I loved it all, but don't think mentally I could have dealt with the injured kids. Yeah, that'd have been a tough one too, for sure. I mean, that's one thing people never really think about, right? You walk up on them accidents and the grisly stuff you got to see, and the child abuse and stuff. I mean, it ain't all just.
So that side of it's bad, but even like the firefighters, right? Like you get like we forget, like these guys see some bad shit.
Right. Big time.
And when we're all asleep at night at 2 a.m. or having Thanksgiving dinner, their pagers go off and they got to leave, and they leave grocery carts in the middle of Walmart, and they got to go do all of this stuff. And like, God bless each and EMTs. By the way, the other one we don't talk enough about, linemen.
Right. My brother-in-law is a lineman, man. Shitty weather.
Tornado and straight line winds go through Hunter and Page, and we've got 46,000 people out of power, and by Monday morning we've got 2,500 people out of power. That didn't happen on its own. That's a bunch of guys that are up all night long dealing with a lot of them wondering how their own family handled the storm.
Yeah, and not only that, that's dangerous work. I mean,
they're all tougher. They're tougher than we are. By the way, it doesn't mean you can't hold them accountable when they do something wrong either.
Right.
Like, it's not either or.
Right. I agree, man. And then the linemen, they don't sleep a lot when the power lines are down. No. They got to get it up, and they're getting people around their ass to get it done. And
you can't refrigerate insulin in those scenarios. People, like, there's real problems that happen.
Yeah. Rick says you can't unsee the bad shit once you see it. Yeah. For sure. I mean, I know my aunt, before she died, she was a EMT in Mercer County, and she quit because one of the nicest people you ever meet. But I mean, man,
so she said the Dunn County guy. So when I moved to Dickinson, I joined the city department because when you do like the spring stuff, when there's high fire index, those rural guys are running nonstop.
That's right. You and Clay are rural fire guys. I forgot about that.
I was a city fire guy. We still, I mean, the number of calls a year was very similar, but they were just spread out more evenly in the city. And then in the rural, you like, I'm telling you, during planting and harvest, when there's a bad fire out, like when the fire index is high, those guys run nonstop. Yeah. And by the way, the people who employ them and let them do it.
Yep.
I have a lot of cool things about North Dakota.
Oh man, I never want to leave here. I think North Dakota's the greatest state. I don't care how cold it gets sometimes. That sucks and the wind blows, but man, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, Kelly, to be honest with you. Gene says dispatch gets called by people having their worst day. Yeah, 100%, man. Steve said on rescue squad for 10 years, we've seen some real bad, but I did see some real good enough of the time to offset it. Yeah, awesome. Appreciate. I didn't know that, Steve, man. Appreciate any of you people who did that, man. That's a lot of things I regret in life, and I was never. Guess I never had the bag to do something like that, so I appreciate that more than people know. Rick says it is the best. Yeah, North Dakota is the best, man, and people are the best. And man, I love it here, man. I feel very fortunate that I was born and raised here. Josh says my employer at the time paid me for the day if I missed work due to the fire call. Yeah, awesome, man. That's awesome. I love that. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Hey, we like in Dickinson, Mike Kelly used to be on the fire department. He owned the McDonald's, and he found out we were on scene for like longer than 4 hours. They'd drive down with just bags of cheeseburgers and French fries. Like they just because Mike Kelly was a good dude and used to serve on the fire department and knew we were hungry. Like,
that's awesome.
Like, the amount of cool things people do, and that's one of the things I try and tell people is turn your phone off. Don't doom scroll every day. Go talk to other humans. Like, even people like it's not that there's not real problems going on. We know there are, but like, it's a pretty cool place to deal with a lot of tough stuff.
Yeah. Doom scrolling it's hard to get my kids off. I think anybody who has kids knows that. Dave says 8:15 in the Bakken was a nasty time in this state. It was like blood in the water. Every 5 to 6 days, there was a fatality up there. I seen more than one crash that had a mess on the highway. Yeah, I did hear stories about that from people too. I mean, I've seen a few things in wrecks that were pretty nasty, but nothing like these people do who work with it on a daily basis. So, all right, Kelly, let's get happy ending hootenanny here real
This
quick.
is a good half hour.
Yeah, man, this was
We're an hour
good. I love this. This is what's great about live streams, man. People can get their chats in, and we can read them and hash them over. I love this kind of stuff, man.
Okay, what's a happy ending hootenanny?
You're just going to find out. It's real short. It won't take me but 30 seconds. Rancho Cordova, California. The incident occurred around 9:15 p.m. as the alleged intruder attempted to make entry. 2 people inside the home, an adult man and a woman, called 911. There you go. We're talking about people, right? We need to call. We need help. And reportedly told the man to leave. Instead of leaving, the 25-year-old dipshit told one of the occupants he was going to kill him. He was subsequently shot and wounded. Fox 40 noted Sacramento County deputy sheriffs arrived on the scene and provided medical aid to the alleged intruder. Happy ending hootenanny about that was the people in the house didn't get hurt. That's one hell of a hootenanny because the intruder did, and they had the Second Amendment to do it. So, love it. Only way it's better to me, Kelly, and some people won't agree, is when the people who do that and break in or beat the shit out of somebody get they get room temperature. So,
It's you deal with that when you
well, like Doug Ford said, I said that last week. I'm like, I don't know. When he said you should have just shot him a few more times, I'm like, Kelly's pretty pro-gun. I don't know if he'd say that, but he might be thinking it.
I'm not entirely. Hey, you tell somebody in your house to leave, they tell you they don't leave. You tell somebody in your house to leave, and they say they're going to kill you. They're gonna. For me, they're gonna learn real quick what a 20 gauge Mossberg looks like.
And in a house,
I'm not aiming
better
for
than a
the leg.
9mm or a 45.
I'm not aiming for the leg.
No, not even that femoral artery they were talking about there. Yeah. So
everybody's a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit.
Yeah. Well, you saw the one where the guy thought he got his arm blown off in his convenience store and ran out. He really didn't, but he was screaming. The guy hit him with a shotgun, but shoot him till they stop, says Steve. Yeah. Hey, Steve, by the way, thank you.
By the way, everybody knows this. Everybody listening to this, my stupid story about the gun blind that got Dan Brown hyperventilating. Yeah. The key is when you pull it, and the key is when you point it. Because once you've decided you're doing those two things, there better be a reason for it. Because there's no the thing's not a hammer, it's not a movie, and it's not an intimidation. It's not a piece of intimidation.
Right.
It has one specific use. And so if you decide to draw that thing out of the holster or out of the case or wherever and point it at another human, you better be willing to do what happens next.
Yep.
And nothing cool and tough about it.
Right.
Like the tough guy part of this is really not it. The point is protect yourself, protect your family, use your head. It's still the best weapon you have. And when you decide it's go time, I hope nobody on this thing ever has to deal with that. But if they do, I hope you win and they lose.
Hey, I hope you have a happy ending hootenanny.
There you go.
All right, Kelly. Hey, man. Really appreciate you coming on. A great show, man. I had a lot of stuff we covered here and stuff that we didn't plan on, but it was great, man. Everybody had a good audience tonight. A lot of people commenting. Pretty good. Anytime you want to come on, Kelly, feel free. I hope we can get together one time this summer and do some shooting at least.
Absolutely. I will tell you this. I'll do this more often, but I don't want to overstay my welcome. I want to be enough of a novelty that people want to hear it, but I'm more regular so you don't think I'm just doing it when it's election time.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, anytime people are loving it, man. People like to hear it. I mean, you're talking about guns and shit just like we do.
Talk about things I like to do outside of politics. I know there's politics with guns, but hunting's my favorite thing in the world, and shooting's a very close second.
Man, I say if we get a Prairie Dog Town lined up, I'm more than happy to join you for a day or two of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. Wider, take your time and hurry in a gunfight. Slow as steady and steady as
You're right. Amen to that, Kelly. Great show, guys. Best gov ever, Wyatt Earp. Yeah, you just read that. Thanks, Governor. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys all for joining in. Kelly, we'll get out. I'm going to play the same song that brought us in with their AI2A as Second Amendment fire. But yeah,
Thanks for having me, JD.
Anytime, man. Thank you. It was my pleasure. It was a good show. I like talking to you, Kelly. You're a great guy. So I'll talk to you. I'll probably text you at some point again here. But
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Don't forget, next Wednesday night, I'm going to Wednesdays, 8 p.m. So we'll see y'all. Have a good Easter.
Born with the right, etched in stone. Second Amendment, we stand alone. Guns in our hands, freedom's call. Hunt the wild, never take the fall. Fire, lock and load, let them roar. Shoot 'em straight, Second Amendment score. Buckshot flying, deers in sight. Rock the range on the night. Rifle raised high, one clean shot. Watch a trophy fly. Targets down